Welcome to the Happier and Healthier podcast. I'm your host, Maria Marlowe, and this is a place where we don't rely on good luck or good genes for our health and happiness, but rather we create it with our thoughts and our actions each and every single day. Each week, I'll bring you a thought or a guest that will help you live your happiest and healthiest life. Are you ready? Welcome back to the Happier and Healthier podcast. Today, I'm joined by one of my absolute favorite people, Kelsey Wells, who's returning to the podcast for a second time to talk all about building both muscular and mental strength. So if you guys heard our earlier interview, you know that one of my favorite things about Kelsey is that she's just so positive and she has such a wonderful mindset. So that is what I want her to focus on. Yes, she is mega fit. If you don't know who she is, she works with Kayla It Seems and is one of the trainers in the Sweat app. So she's literally one of the most followed, popular, famous trainers in the world. And she was not always so fit. 5 years ago, she was not fit at all. She had never worked out and she was even dealing with postpartum depression, but then she turned it all around really in a relatively short time and has now become this powerhouse. So I wanted to dig into her mindset a little bit because I think that's really the most important key into changing your physical body or achieving whatever goals you have. It all starts with your mindset. Now, before we jump in case you guys missed it, my all-new website, healthybymarlowe.com, has relaunched. It is beautiful and filled with tons of healthy recipes, the previous podcast episodes, nutrition and wellness articles, meal plans, and so much more. While you're there, be sure to check out my signature program, my Clear Skin Plan, which is all about clearing up acne through diet and natural skincare, as well as my Paleo Meal Plan, which will help you eat healthfully during the week, stress-free, and all recipes are ready in 25 minutes or less. Before we get started, check out these brands that make the Happier and Healthier podcast possible. If you're looking for better health and especially better digestion, then you have to check out my favorite probiotic brand, Hyperbiotics. Digestive health is the root of our overall health, and it's so important to get it under control and get it healthy. Not just so you're not embarrassed with gas and bloating or constantly running to the bathroom or maybe never running to the bathroom because you're constipated. It is so important that we nourish our gut and take care of our gut because when it's not healthy and it's not working properly, it's only a matter of time before we start seeing other health problems, whether that's skin problems, autoimmune problems, and lower immunity because our digestive system is so intricately linked with our immune system, and so much more. So if you're having digestive issues currently, gas, bloating, diarrhea, constipation, of course, definitely check with your doctor, but you probably also want to look into a probiotic. I'm joined by Kelsey Wells, one of the top trainers in the world and the creator of Power.
Yes.
So you just launched a new Power 4.0.
Yes.
Tell us.
Yeah, it's an extension on the programming. So it is just advancements. You know, you see some new, more advanced exercises that we've been building up to, but the formatting is the same. So the muscle group split kind of builds up until week 9, and then it's the same throughout. But what's so special and like really cool for me about 4.0 is that it marks 1 full year of Power. So I have my 4 beginner weeks and then now weeks 1 through 48. And so I can literally be your personal trainer for an entire year of unique programming, which is, a massive milestone. And I'm super
so
excited.
Amazing. Congrats.
That's
such a huge accomplishment.
Thank you. It's cool. Yeah, it's hard. That's how I train. I'm currently doing 4.0 and it's good.
Yeah.
It's hard.
I find that when I get into a routine that I like, whether it's a 4 or 8 week, whatever, then I like to keep repeating it a couple times.
And I often recommend that. It's like the cool thing about Power is and Power at Home is it's classic proven weight training exercises and techniques, right? So it's not like you just do it once and you've done it. your body doesn't tire of it because you're using all planes of motion. Like, it's very scientifically sound, and a squat is a squat, a deadlift is a deadlift. Like, it doesn't matter what fitness level you're at, those exercises and techniques can benefit you. So it's a lot of fun to, redo the programming because you're just stronger. It's not ever easier. You're just stronger. And so,
Right. And you can do more, reps.
And then you're like, oh, I remember this. Like, yeah, it's cool. It's fun.
Yeah. I saw you doing on your Instagram the other day a move. It looked like a burpee, but you were doing a handstand.
Oh, yeah.
What is that?
I was just kind of messing around and filming I wanted to film some like body weighted HIIT stuff, which I often do because HIIT is part of my power programming. And with the launch of 4.0, I also launched some new challenges and quick workouts into the app. And some of those are like HIIT or strength HIIT. So it's like a body weighted workout, but also counts as your high intensity cardio, right? Mm-hmm. So we were just having some fun and we filmed some, and then that was just more advanced.
Yeah, that was crazy advanced.
But yeah, I love handstands. I've kind of been practicing those. So I wouldn't try it unless if your headstand or handstands are nailed and your tuck jumps, then you're like, that's the level, then you can totally do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't
start there. That was very advanced. And you're hardcore. My husband, actually, he'll watch your videos too, and he's like, wow, she is so hardcore.
Oh, I love him.
So for someone who is just starting out, though, if they saw that, they would probably be terrified. But you don't have to start there.
No.
So where do you start if you're a beginner?
Just 5 years ago, which is nothing in the scheme of life, right? I couldn't do a single sit-up or push-up, let alone a handstand or anything like that. And I think the key is it's always easy to get overwhelmed, no matter what level you're at. If you choose to compare yourself to anyone else, you're always going to feel less than, you're always going to feel insecure, and you're always going to feel overwhelmed. But no matter where you're at, you can also always choose to be grateful for where you are and decide the direction that you want to go. So it's not about what you can or cannot do. It's about focusing on putting in effort and bettering yourself. And that's with fitness, with our mental and emotional well-being. It's with goals, with, like work goals. And you know what I'm saying? It's just, it's always about, it doesn't do us any good to focus on what we can't do.
Right.
It's like, what can I do right now? And how do I I've set myself a goal, but what am I doing today to get me on the path to reach that?
Right.
And you break it down into baby steps, because nothing great ever was achieved in a moment. It's like even the buzzer beater that wins the NBA championship game, like that moment was only possible because of the whole season of games before it, and then all the practices, and then the off season, and then the 10 years, and then that kid's growing up playing basketball every day. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you don't need to get overwhelmed or feel bad about what you can't do. You just need to put in daily effort, and you'll do great things.
Right.
You'll get where you want to go. Yeah.
One question I get all the time whenever I'm talking about fitness, or I mention that I'm going to have you guys on the podcast, you and Kayla, and the question that I get all of the time is, I want to work out, but then I just feel like I'm not motivated. What advice do you have for these people?
Look, this might not be a popular answer, but motivation is fleeting. You're never going to be motivated. You need to do it anyway. You have to exercise discipline and realize, that sounds harsh, but it's just true. Like I don't always feel motivated, and I've thought about that a lot because I've given that answer a lot. And then I'm like, okay, but how can I say that answer but also help people? Because I don't want to be too harsh. And I think it comes down to understanding why. Why are you wanting to exercise? Why are you doing this? When your efforts in fitness and nutrition are based off of aesthetics, based off of feeling like you're not good enough, or any place of negativity, it won't be enough. That's not enough to exercise discipline with consistency. It's just not. But when your efforts and your why is based out of gratitude for your body, when you've internalized the understanding that fitness is not to look a certain way, it's because you're a human being who's alive, who has health. And you need to take care of your body, because we need to keep our hearts beating, and we need to, we brush our teeth every day. It's not because we love to do it. It's because you take care of your dental hygiene. And it's the same thing. You need to do this to take care of yourself. And I think it's a beautiful gratitude practice. But even if you're not in that space, it's like you do it because you need to do it. And it doesn't have to be hours a day. It doesn't have to be your thing. But you've got to exercise, a few times a week, at least 30 minutes, because you're worth it, because you have to. You need to take care of yourself. So when you understand your why, then you exercise that discipline.
Right.
It's not about motivation.
Right. And sometimes we have to do things that we don't want to do. Like, I don't want to pay taxes or file the taxes, right? But I got to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that beyond even just the why, I think when people realize what the other benefits are of exercise, right? Like mental health is actually for me, I feel like I'm in such a better mood when I exercise regularly and I just think better. I think more clearly. And you yourself, you talk about a lot that you use exercise for your mental health as much as your physical health.
Absolutely. I've struggled with anxiety from childhood, and postpartum, that was especially prevalent and heavy. And I still have anxiety, and that's a part of my life of which I'm no longer ashamed or quiet about. And I think it needs to be more widely talked about. But exercise and nutrition enabled me to cope holistically with my anxiety, which is a huge superpower for me. And you're exactly right. I exercise that discipline to exercise because it's good for me. And that's a very literal thing. I don't really, just like you said, feel like myself if I haven't, been taking care of myself. And you sleep better, you have more energy. I mean, there's the non-physical benefits of exercise are very real, and science will show us that we need to be doing this, but it's also how you feel.
Yeah. And I think science tells us so much, but it ultimately comes down to how you feel. And so many times we've not wanted to go to the gym and then we drag ourselves there. We go and then we feel amazing. You never feel like, oh, I wish I didn't go.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Nobody ever says that, right? You feel so good. So I feel like once we just get into the habit, maybe the first week or two, it's a bit tough, but once you get into that routine, you feel so good. You don't want to miss.
Definitely the more you do it, not really the easier it becomes, but the more understanding you have of all the amazing benefits of it, right? I think it's, for me, fitness was a very literal metaphor for my whole journey of self-love, but it's not just you exercise and you love yourself. It's it helped me accept myself first. And then you choose to believe in yourself, because you can't do anything unless you believe in yourself first. And then that self-belief and self-confidence and self-love, and they all just kind of work in symphony with each other. And that doesn't mean you're always confident. It doesn't mean you're never feeling insecure. It just means that you appreciate and validate all that you are and where you are. And fitness helps you gain that confidence, which translates into every other area and aspect of your life. And so it's not actually, for me, exercise is not actually so much about the physical, what it's doing for me. Of course, yes, taking care of my health. But when I say taking care of my health, I just as much mean my mental and emotional health, which is that confidence, which is that self-love, which is that peace. And so, I'll do it. I prioritize that. It's non-negotiable for me because I need my mind right. I need that.
Of course. Are there any other practices or habits you have that you feel like also helped you with your self-love and confidence, health?
Meditation is huge. That's something that I introduced probably 2 years ago now. And very similar to fitness, I've been blown away by the benefits of that. And I don't think there's one right way to do it. I don't subscribe to just one practice or anything, but I think practicing mindfulness and meditation, it's, being talked about so much lately of how great that is for stress relief and all of that. There's so many benefits, but personally, it definitely helps me stay grounded and connected. And
yeah, I agree. I started meditating a few years ago as well, and it is a game changer.
Yeah.
It's amazing how many really successful people, especially in business, meditate also, which is quite interesting. And time is an excuse a lot of people have. I know I can't meditate because I don't have the time to meditate. I used to say that all the time.
Who was it? I think it was Oprah that literally said, or maybe it was Deepak Chopra. They said, if you say you don't have time to meditate, you need to meditate twice.
Yeah.
And it just made me laugh. I'm like,
yeah,
it's just so funny. But we all have the same amount of hours in a day. We prioritize what matters most to us, which,
exactly.
I used to find a lot of time to watch Netflix, and I don't really remember the last time I watched a series or a show, but I have new priorities, and nothing wrong with watching shows. I think it's fun to do that sometimes too, but we got to prioritize the things that are going to help us,
for sure,
live the life that we want.
For sure. And I find with meditation, other people have said this as well, meditation, it takes 20 minutes out of your day, but it gives you hours of productivity.
I agree. Definitely.
Right?
I do.
Because you're calmer, you think more clearly, and you're just more productive when you're in that state of mind.
I agree. 100%.
Yeah. Are there any other practices or daily habits that you have? Like, do you have a morning routine or an evening routine?
I do have a bit of both, but one thing I really just want to point out, especially to any like parents or mothers or honestly it applies to everyone, but a lesson that I've learned just in mostly like the last year of my career is the importance of being present and fully doing what you're doing. I think, especially as a mother, I would carry so much guilt because I work and I travel, and that's hard. It's hard. I'm always missing my family when I'm not with them, and I would struggle a lot because I'd be gone on these amazing opportunities, and I'd just be worried sick about this mom guilt, or about like, what are they doing at home? Like, does he miss me? Like, all of these things. And then when I'm home and I'm supposed to be playing with him, I'm just thinking about the million emails that I haven't responded to, and like the things I need, and the next big trip that's coming up. And it's just like, it's not about anything except for being where I am. And when I finally realized, like, when I'm playing with my son, I'm playing with my son. I'm not worried about work. I'm just right there with him. And then when I'm here and I'm leading boot camp, I'm just right there because these women are giving me their time and I'm going to give them mine. And it's like, whether you are with your friendships or whatever it is, it's not necessary. It's always about quality over quantity. You might not be able to see your mom as much as you'd like, but when you're with her, just be with her. Mm-hmm. And then when you're working, work hard and be proud of that. And I think that's, I guess, not so much a routine, but just something that's helped me immensely is when I finally kind of clicked into place, like, guilt doesn't serve us. It's like, just be where you are and focus on the next right thing and then fully do it. Whether it's in your social life, in your work life, the key to balance is just being flexible and giving your whole self to that present moment of what you're doing. Definitely.
And the guilt, I feel like, permeates through a lot of areas of our life, not even just with work and kids, but also if someone doesn't eat right or if they do miss the gym session.
Yeah. I'm such an advocate for the principle that, like, the most unhealthy thing you can do surrounding your diet is feel guilty or stressed out about something you ate. Mm-hmm. Like, whatever, like, that guilt and stress is worse for you than anything you could have eaten. And we have to disassociate guilt and stress from our food, because food is fuel. We need to eat. We're nourishing our bodies, and it's okay to eat things that are less nutritious sometimes. They're just less nutritious. They're not bad. They're not cheats. It's just all food is fuel, and learning how to indulge in moderation and to enjoy food in a way and find a balance that for you is going to help you feel your best and carry you throughout your day and in your life and give you the energy to exercise and to do all the things that we want, right? And yeah, I think healthy eating is just about, at its very core, finding like that mental switch, because unfortunately it's very hard in society, I think, to disassociate the guilt from the food, but I think it's imperative.
Yeah, I agree 100%. We need to release the guilt.
You know all about this.
Yeah, of course. And I eat French fries. I mean, I eat unhealthy foods from time to time. If I want it, I'm going to eat it.
Exactly.
And I don't feel guilty about it.
No, and that's everything.
Yeah. What we do most of the time is what is going to shape our health. Yes. And what we do once in a while is just helps us live our life a little.
Exactly. That's good for your emotional health.
Exactly.
Having a piece of cake.
Exactly.
For sure.
One thing I love about your Instagram is that you're very positive and very inspiring. Really, like, your captions are the best. And actually, I don't remember what post it was, but I saw that someone had commented, your captions basically win Instagram, something like that.
I don't know about that, but
yeah.
Thank you.
Where does this positivity come from? And have you always been so positive?
No. I think many people falsely misinterpret positivity to be like natural. I don't know very many born optimists. I'm not really sure if that's real or not. I think life is hard, and it's always hard for everyone. All of us are dealing with struggles that others know nothing about, and none of us are immune to tragedy and heartbreak and mourning and death and all of those things that come along with life. And being an optimist or positive person doesn't mean that you wear these rose-colored glasses and just ignore all the hard things and you're just fine, you're just happy. It's not that at all. It's just understanding in your darkest moments that, okay, even though it's nighttime right now, I'm not going to ignore my hard feelings. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to feel them. But I also know that the sun still exists. It's just not shining on me right now. Maybe it's misty, or maybe it's in Australia because I live in the US, right? But it's going to come back and it'll be daytime again. And so it's just having that assurance that like you can and will survive anything, and understanding the peace that comes with knowing that you get to choose. No matter what happens to us, our reactions and our choices of our perspective are the number one influence of how our life will be. No question. And I'm not negating anything that anyone's going through. It's not about that. It's about, for me, for a long time, I just didn't understand any of that. And it's very freeing and powerful. And that's something that my fitness journey also taught me, is that we are strong, especially as women. We're survivors, and we don't have to be victims. Regardless of what we've gone through, we can get up and we can always survive. And we can choose with which attitude we're going to do so. And if you choose to be grateful or choose gratitude, then you'll always find something positive in any situation. And that's a mindset that you have to cultivate. You know, I do a gratitude journal every morning and actually every night. And my mindfulness and meditation has really helped me cultivate living with gratitude. And I don't think it's something that is just like fitness, right? I don't think it's something, you don't exercise for really hard for a month and be like, okay, I'm good for 2019. Like I did my exercising. It's like, there's no shelf life to this. It's our health. So whether that's mental, emotional, or physical, you exercise regularly to take care of your physical health. And I practice gratitude practices all the time to live in that space of gratitude, so that when the hard things happen and when the dark nights are here in your life, you can press forward and continue to be okay and happy and positive. And it's, I think, so worth the effort and the fight.
Yeah. And I appreciate that you said that the positivity doesn't come natural, and that it is.
I mean, not for me. I don't know.
No, I don't think you're right. I don't think it comes natural for any of us. I think that we are always aware of danger, and we are scared of things to keep us safe.
Yeah.
And
that's not a flaw. There's nothing wrong with
right.
that. Yeah.
We need that to protect ourselves, but we have different dangers now. I think things are different now. And social media and just life in general and our lives today, they seem to elicit more fear and more anxiety and all of this. And so we do really need to cultivate a practice of gratitude and mindfulness to make sure that we stay in that place of positivity.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. So any tips or advice for people who want to get into fitness and a healthy lifestyle and are just not sure where to start?
I could go on forever. No, I think the biggest, I guess, piece, and it's kind of just my whole mantra and like message and what I'm trying to put out there with all of my programming, I want to help empower women. And that really means I want to help you empower yourself. Because again, I can't do that for you. I can't give you self-love, right? Like you think about how much you love your mom or your best friend. No matter what, you can't make them have that for themselves. Like that's, self-love is the right of every woman on the planet, but it's also the responsibility. And so I want to help you empower yourself, and I'll give you the tools. Like I'll write my programming. I will teach you how to weight train. I will teach you about nutrition. I will help you cultivate mindfulness and help you, give you the tools that help me with my gratitude practices. But at the end of the day, it's all on you. It's only up to us. And I think understanding that when you're in the beginning of your journey, I know how it feels to be like, oh my gosh, I just have so far to go. Like that mountain is just too big. It's too overwhelming. It's too daunting. But it's not about getting anywhere. It's about where are you right now? And instead of feeling like, oh, I just want to have a healthy lifestyle, that's just so daunting and overwhelming. But it's like, what can you do right now today? What can you do right now today? Oh, I can find a way to move my body and exercise. Cool. I'm going to do that. I can eat a vegetable. Okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to drink water instead of my soda on my next meal. Okay, cool. And then be proud of yourself. It's honestly about taking it day by day. My whole life, but especially like my whole lifestyle, is completely 100,000% opposite from what it was 5 years ago. But nothing was done overnight. It was just those small little changes implemented until they were my new normal. And then I took off something else. And it's like now I eat very clean and healthy, and it's not daunting or hard or stressful because it's just my new normal, and I do it because it feels good. And that big lifestyle shift that you're hoping for, if you're wanting to like get active and you're sedentary right now, or if you're wanting to eat healthy and you just don't at all right now, it will come. But don't focus on the massive change you're trying to make. Focus on, what can I do right now to be healthier, to take care of myself?
Right. Those baby steps really lead to big results over time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're here in Dubai. You are about to leave. Yeah. This is your first time here, right?
Yeah.
How are you liking it?
I'm just so grateful to be here. I've wanted to come my whole life. So it's been at the top of my bucket list. I had high expectations, but it's like exceeded them all. I think the people are so beautiful and lovely and warm and kind, and the architecture is unbelievable. I mean, there's so many things I've never seen before and never thought of before. It's just a very beautiful culture and place. Yeah.
Yeah. And you'll be teaching at Dubai Active this weekend.
Yes. Friday, live power session at noon, followed by a meet and greet at 1, which is always my favorite part. And then also a live Q&A on Saturday, which will be really cool. Just chat with everyone, 2 p.m. Saturday for the Q&A.
Super cool. Super exciting. I know I had you answer this question last time you were on the podcast, but maybe you have a new answer.
Okay, I'm ready.
If there's one tip or piece of advice you can leave our listeners with in order for them to live a happier and healthier life, what would it be?
Be grateful.
I think that was your answer last time, too.
Was it?
I think
honestly
so.
don't remember.
I don't remember, but I feel like it probably wasn't. That's a great one either way. Well, thank you so much, Kelsey.
Thank you.